भगवते वासुदेवाय नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी ॐ ज्ञानातिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति
वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं
सहगणरघुनाथं वितन्तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे विष्णुपदाय कृष्णविस्तारितये प्रभुपादः प्रिय श्री गिरिराजने स्वामिने सुभद्राधरास्पृहामि भक्तिविच्छाप्लवः नमः विष्णुपदाय कृष्णविस्तारितये श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादिताचार्य श्री गुरु Hare Krishna. So we are continuing. So this section is Perfection of Renunciation, chapter 18. So this is how we are performing action and getting the results of the action. So text 26. So Shikala, can you read?
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Mukta sango anam vadi druta utsa samandita siddhaya siddhayo nirvikara karta satvika uchyate. One who performs his duty without association with the modes of material nature, without false ego, with great determination and enthusiasm, and without wavering in success or failure, said to be a worker in the mode of goodness. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. A person in Krishna consciousness is always transcendental to the material modes of nature. He has no expectations for the result of the work entrusted to him because he is above false ego and pride. Still, he is always enthusiastic till the completion of such work. He does not worry about the distress undertaken. He is always enthusiastic. He does not care for success or failure. He is equal in both distress and happiness. Such a worker is situated in the mode of goodness. Hare Krishna.
So we can make a chart, right? Can make a chart and check which mode we are in, right? All list is given here. All right. Text 27, Anupama, Madhuri.
Mataji, on this verse, the determination is still easy, but the enthusiasm is very difficult to upkeep. Especially if you're alone, then the enthusiasm. Can you give some tips on the enthusiasm side?
Enthusiasm comes from determination. Determination means enthusiasm. If there is no enthusiasm, there can be no determination. Isn't it? You will just give up. Hmm? So association, when others are enthusiastic, you also do. Isn't it? So Sangha is so important. Isn't it? And somehow or other, just like we saw, we did this book marathon. Others were enthusiastic, so you also plugged in, right? And you did. And you became enthusiastic. Say, I will also contribute my little bit, right? And because the whole team was determined, to do, isn't it? Everybody, like, they were determined. It's like, it was pretty blind. It was like day by day, we don't know what's the outcome tomorrow. We were just doing. Everybody was just doing, and everybody was bringing, right? Distributing the books. So there was no expectation of result as such, right? Everybody just thought we must do book distribution, and they did it, right?
Mhm.
So it's more of goodness. So even if there's some obstacle, we didn't just drop, right? Sometimes it happened that something major happens and you just say, oh, there's nobody, let me just drop it. Right? So as a team, as a group, we just went forward. And how many devotees were there? 5, 6, 7, maybe, right? Small group, right? I don't know. And books you did already. Maybe 5 to 7,000 books you distributed. I don't know yet.
Habit. Text 27. Ragi karma phale prepsu lubdo himsatmat sa atmakos asuchihi harsha shokanvita karta rajasa parikirtitihi. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. The worker who's attached to work and the fruits of work, desiring to enjoy those fruits, and who is greedy, always envious, impure, and moved by joy and sorrow, is said to be in the mode of passion. Purport. A person is too much attached to a certain kind of work or to the result because he has too much attachment for materialism or hearth and home, wife and children. Such a person has no desire for higher elevation in life. He is simply concerned with making this world as materially comfortable as possible. He is generally very greedy and he thinks that anything attained by him is permanent and never to be lost. Such a person is envious of others and prepared to do anything wrong for sense gratification. Therefore, such a person is unclean and he does not care whether his earning is pure or impure. He is very happy if his work is successful and very much distressed when his work is not successful. Such is the worker in the mode of passion.
So a person who's too much attached with a certain kind of work or to the result because he has too much attachment for materialism or hearth and home, wife and children. So he has no desire for higher elevation in life. So he just wants to make this world materially comfortable. Generally very greedy and thinks that anything attained by him is permanent. That's the horrible thing, We were reading this Chaitanya Charitamrita yesterday. These are all spiritual endeavors, but we found how, you build a temple and then suddenly the dangers rises and sweep away the house, right? And then what did the devotee do? They shifted. They shifted the deity to another place. Then this devotee was doing, and then his line got cut, right? His lineage got cut. So nothing is permanent in this world. And to believe Here, the deities were moving from one hand to the next because there was a higher objective. Now, for ordinary people to believe that their asset is permanent, and you don't know when you can lose all your money. You don't know when you can be cheated. You don't know when a calamity may come and just block all your money, right? Or damage your crop, or damage your assets. You don't know. So somebody who is just working, and thinking that whatever he's working for is permanent. So what is his condition when he loses everything? Such a person is envious of others and prepared to do anything wrong for self-gratification. Envious of others. So we say, why does he have? Why does she have? I must also have. And you start pulling down other people. You start politicking against other people. These are the activities of those in the mood of passion. Therefore, such a person is unclean and doesn't care whether his earning is pure or impure. He's very happy if his work is successful, and very much distressed when his work is not successful. So he goes happiness, distress, and envy and greed. Okay, Ashwini, 28.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mother. Text 28. Ayuktah prakrutah stabdah shato naiskritiko lasah vishadi dirghasutri cha karta tamasa uchyate. Translation. The worker who is always engaged in work against the injunction of the scriptures, who is materialistic, obstinate, cheating, and expert in insulting others, and who is lazy, always morose, and procrastinating, is said to be a worker in the mode of ignorance. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In the scriptural injunction, we find what sort of work should be performed and what sort of work should not be performed. Those who do not care for those injunctions engage in work not to be done, and such persons are generally materialistic. They work according to the modes of nature, not according to the injunctions of the scripture. Such workers are not very gentle, and generally they are always cunning and expert in insulting others. They are very lazy. Even though they have some duty, they do not do it properly, and they put it aside to be done later on. Therefore, they appear to be morose. They procrastinate. Anything which can be done in an hour, they drag on for years. Such workers are situated in the mode of ignorance.
Looks like Prabhupada has experience of this work that can be done in an hour, they drag on for years. Right. So the gunas, Rajogun, Tamogun, Sattvagun. So it's like a rotation. This material world consists of these three gunas, and they're like a rotation, So there's combination and permutation of the three gunas. And then it's like here you are the spool jiv, and you are just being pushed by these gunas. So when Rajogun push you, and whatever mixture is there, you move this way. When tamas push you, you move this way, So the jiva is simply caught. So that's why you can't trust people who don't have any spiritual or shastric background, because you don't know what he'll think next. You don't know what he will do next. You don't know what he will say next. There's no control over anything. They can't keep their promise. They can't keep commitment. They just walk in and they offer, they will do this. And then you don't know what comes in their head. And suddenly they just vanish. They just vanish and change their mind and leave you in trouble. Right? Chanchala. Or you don't know when behind your back they may be doing something. At all in doing something because they are not ruled by the Vedic injunctions. It's cunning and expert in insulting others. So when you will say one thing, then they will start insulting you. Right? You can't deal with such people. Very dangerous. Society where the majority of people are in Rajogun and Tamogun, this society is simply hell. Simply hell. 29, Anupama Mishra.
Text 29. Buddher bhedam tritaschaiva gunatastribidham shrinu prochyaman man asheshena prithaktvena dhananjaya. O winner of wealth, now please listen as I tell you in detail of the different kinds of understanding and determination, according to the three modes of material nature. Purport. Now, after explaining knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the knower in three different divisions according to the modes of material nature, the Lord is explaining the intelligence and determination of the worker in the same way.
Right, so now this is going to be, now please listen on the kinds of understanding. Understanding and determination. So here Prabhupada is saying that they're going to understanding your intelligence. How your intelligence work? How does it work? So you do something, but you do something according to your intelligence, right? So how do you take your decisions? How do you decide what to do? You have to use your intelligence, right? And according to your intelligence, your determination will be proportionate. Okay, let's read. Continue, Anupama.
Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha karya-karye bhaya-bhaye bandham moksham cha yaveti buddhi sa partha sattviki. O son of Pritha, that understanding by which one knows what ought to be done and what ought not to be done, what is to be feared and what is not to be feared, what is binding, what is liberating, is in the mode of goodness. Purport. Performing actions in terms of the directions of the scriptures is called pravritti, or executing actions that deserve to be performed, and actions which are not so directed are not to be performed. One who does not know the scriptural directions becomes entangled in the actions and reactions of work. understanding which discriminates by intelligence is situated in the mode of goodness.
Yeah, so pravritrim meaning what we should do, nivritim which is what we should not do. Prescribed duties and forbidden actions. So we should know. So one who doesn't know the scriptural direction becomes entangled in the actions and reactions of work. So like right now, meat eating, intoxication, gambling, and illicit sex. These are all forbidden action. But people are doing it more and more because they don't read scripture. They don't know the consequence of doing forbidden activities. They think it's, just friends, like all your children, how they're in danger, right? They're in danger because, friends say, you eat meat, it's okay. You take intoxication, it's okay. Roam around with boys and girls, it's okay, right? It's all okay. Why? So why they do this? Because they don't know that what is the Vedic instruction and what are the consequences of the action. So it's very, very dangerous. So what is to be feared and what is not to be feared, right? Meaning that, yes, if we do something wrong, we should feel fearful, right? If somebody has no fear in doing something wrong, this is very dangerous. So fear is it's required. It's required not to break a regulatory principle. Like stealing. You steal something and you are not afraid of stealing. Aware of what the consequence if you steal. So fear is very important, required. Bhaya, abhaya. Bhaya, fear, abhaya, and fearlessness. What is feared and what is not to be feared. So, yes, it is also an fear, meaning that it is a deterrent to do wrong work. See, actually, this Vedic knowledge is permeated in the Vedic society. Like instruction is given from the Shastra, then it is practiced in society, right? It becomes part of society. And therefore, people automatically knew what they should do and what they should not do, right? And they should know what to be feared and what not to be feared. They know what is binding, meaning what will give them karma, bondage, bandham, and what will give them moksham, liberation, right? So a society that is in mode of goodness, they're aware of this. But when by association, like people start breaking, and then first thing, they don't know what is to be done, what is not to be done. And second, it's okay. You're not afraid. What I'm saying that sometimes we say it's just society. We should not be afraid of society. I heard this lecture by Prabhupada. He's saying that previously when Prabhupada was a young man, nobody will eat meat openly. Nobody will eat meat openly. So what they will do, so they will go, in the stable or somewhere, meaning somewhere outside the house. If somebody wants to eat meat, they will go in the stable somewhere outside and they will call some meat eater and ask him to cook meat for them. They will never do it openly. It's never brought in the houses. They never do it openly, right? He was speaking about that. I never knew all this. Prabhupada says that, When he was a young man, that's how it is. And he said, now the meat is in the shop, right? You just go and you sit in a cafeteria and you order your chicken and whatever you want, and you eat in front of everybody. So what I'm saying that if people will talk about you and say, oh, he eats meat, you won't feel good about it. So that's why it was done secretly. You know, even drinking, when drinking was done secretly, nobody would know. But now it has entered like general society. Not to speak of illicit sex. You know? Men doing it, women doing it. You know, so people were fearful of it. Now openly they speak of partnership, you know, openly, without shame. And no longer do they speak about husband and wife, they say my partner. Right? My partner. What language has come up, right? So my partner in dharma or my partner in lust, right? Everywhere. Before they used to speak of marriage, now they speak of relationships. Language itself has changed. So what is to be done, what is not, what is to be feared and what is not to be feared. So when that fear is broken, then what happens next? Okay, who's reading next? Who wants to read? 31.
Right?
Okay.
यया धर्म अधर्मं च कार्य च अकार्यमेव च अयथावत् प्रजानाति बुद्धिः सा पार्थ राजसी. O son of Pritha, that understanding which cannot distinguish between religion and irreligion, between action that should be done and action that should not be done, is in the mode of passion.
Principles of religion or dharma, irreligion. Principles meaning that what are the rules and regulations? See, dharma is simply a set of rules and regulations so that you don't mess up your, right? So that you don't, your personal is good for you personally, it's good for your interaction with others, your communication, your relationships with others. So these are dharma. Like we say, social etiquette, spiritual etiquette. Vaishnava etiquette. So dharma. Like yesterday, you know, what to do, you know, just Google this YouTube, you know. Somehow one thing popped up. What was it? It was cooking in Kerala. You know, now I'm very inquisitive about the different cultures in India. So I saw this, and this flower, it was this banana flower. You know how to cook that, which is something very mysterious for me. So I watched this lady, she was a beautiful lady, Kerala, and they have made it as like a film, you know, rather than, you know, just being in the kitchen and, you know, this measurement, that measurement, you know. They made it as a movie, which is very, very initiative, very creative, you know. So definitely I was so charmed to see the whole thing, to see how she went out in her garden, how she plucked, you know, the banana flower, then she brought it in her kitchen. I saw all the different utensil that she's using, all traditional utensil, everything. So she made different preparation, and you know what she did at the end? You know what she did at the end? Which was very I mean, now that we are in Krishna consciousness, we know this. So she made a plate, I mean, her rice, her dal, whatever she has cooked, and the flour and this, so many stuff. She made a plate, and then she sat down and she started eating. It was like, now that we are in Krishna consciousness, it was such a lack of dharma, total lack of dharma, Who will, I mean, obviously she was a married woman, right? So when you cook, you will serve your child, right? You will serve. So what is the advertisement? What are they showing people? That you do so much work. It was so much work going in that garden, plucking the banana flower, chopping it. It was work, 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 And then finally you sit down, you take the plate, and she was just eating. If I wouldn't have studied or lived in the Indian society, I wouldn't have appreciated that nobody cooks for themselves, cook like this, such a sumptuous meal, and then you sit on the chowkat down and you're eating. You would want to feed others. And for us, if there is nobody to feed, the first thing that we do, we feed our Krishna, right? Dharma. That's real dharma. So that understanding which cannot distinguish between religion and irreligion. Between action that should be done and action that should not be done. The mode of passion. Or maybe it was just a movie, But what culture are they giving, right? What culture are they giving? That I cook, and I eat. Anybody knows that, if you're in a family, you will immediately call your child, right? Immediately you call your child. First we offer, then we will call others, right? We are cooking for Krishna. And if by bad luck, I happen to be all by myself and I cook something very simple, I won't cook something so elaborate, isn't it? If we are alone, we'll cook something very, very simple. But all these elaborate dishes, my God. It's for sharing. It's to give to Krishna and for sharing with others. So I'm sure I wouldn't have thought anything about it some years back. But when I saw that, oh my God. 32, text 32. Read it, Shikal.
अधर्मं धर्मम् इति या मन्यते तमसा वृता सर्वार्थान् विपरीतांश्च बुद्धिः सा पार्थ तामसी. That understanding which considers irreligion to be religion and religion to be irreligion under the spell of illusion and darkness and strives always in the wrong direction, O Parth, is in the mode of ignorance. Perfect. Intelligence in the mode of ignorance is always working the opposite of the way it should. It accepts religions which are not actually religions and rejects actual religion. Man in ignorance understands a great soul to be common man and accept a common man as the great soul. They think truth to be untruth and accept untruth as truth. In all activities, they simply take the wrong path. Therefore, their intelligence is in the mode of ignorance.
And ignorance understand a great soul to be a common man, right? You cannot understand the action of a great man if you are not on that level. If you're not on that level of a great man, you look at a great man and you think, what is he doing? You judge him according to your own standards. So you think he's a common man, and you think that he's behaving in an irreligious way, according to your, like Krishna, right? Like Krishna, is he not always criticized? Right? He's always criticized. To such an extent that they even put a blame on him. That Akrur, they said he has stolen the Shamanta jewel. They created a rumor, scandal around his name. Hence, understand a great soul to be common man, and accept a common man as a great soul. Think truth to be untruth, and accept untruth as truth. So, if your intelligence is not sufficiently enlightened, very, very difficult. That understanding which considers irreligion to be religion. Like some people, they are engaging in illicit sex and they make it pass off as religion. It's part of religion. You will achieve, moksha, right? If you will do this, is the path of liberation. So they consider irreligion to be religion. They thought this is a way. Yogis, they think that's a way. And religion to be a religion. That is dharma. That is dharma. So therefore, dangerous this world. Extremely dangerous. Prabhupada gives the example like a sannyasi is seen going to the bank, right? A sannyasi is seen going to the bank, and common people think, oh, this sannyasi is going to the bank. He must be a materialist. He's also dealing with money, right? So the intelligence is like this. Text 33. Yeah, Anupama Madhvi.
Hare Krishna, text 33. Dhrityaya dhara dharyate mana pranendriya kriya yogena avyabhicharinya dhriti sa partha satviki. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. O son of Pritha, that determination break sustained with steadfastness by yoga practice, and which thus controls the activities of the mind, life, and senses, is determination in the mode of goodness. Purport: Yoga is a means to understand the Supreme Soul. One who is steadily fixed in the Supreme Soul with determination, concentrating one's mind, life, and sensory activities on the Supreme, engages in Krishna consciousness. That sort of determination is in the mode of goodness. The word aparinya is very significant, for it indicates that persons who are engaged in Krishna consciousness are never deviated by any other activity. Hare Krishna.
Avyabhicharinya. Dritya, determination. Yaya. Dhara yate. One sustains. Mana. So that determination, which is unbreakable, which is sustained by steadfastness, by yoga practice, and that which controls the activities of the mind, life, and senses, is determination and mode of goodness. Persons who are engaged in Krishna consciousness are never deviated by any other activity. So if your determination is a mode of goodness, you won't give up. How we find thousands come to practice Krishna consciousness and thousands go away. Right? They don't have the determination to continue. They don't have the patience, the determination. And most probably they don't have sufficient knowledge. So it takes a long time of practice, maybe lifetimes of practice, you have to put in more, one more, until your determination is very, very strong, unbreakable. Despite all obstacles. See, if you want to be a yogi, all of us who are here, if we want to succeed, if there is no determination in the mode of goodness, say goodbye to success. Right? Just say goodbye. We have to be determined. We have to be determined to chant 16 rounds or more. To be determined to follow the regulative principles. We have to be determined to engage in service. If there is no determination, you can't do anything. Determined to have regulation in your life. They means to understand the Supreme Soul. One who is steadily fixed in the Supreme Soul with determination, concentrating one's mind, life, and sensory activities on the Supreme, engages in Krishna consciousness. One who is steadily fixed in the Supreme Soul. So, what is our determination? Meaning our mind is not wavering. I've accepted Krishna and I'm not going to waver my mind from Krishna. Meaning that whether my rounds are good or not, whether my sadhana is perfect or not, I'm seeing a quality. I am determined to do it because my mind is fixed. I want Krishna. Not that today, I want Krishna. Tomorrow, I'll close the book. I'll close the altar. Today, I'll offer my food to Krishna. Tomorrow, anyway, it's okay. I can just sit in the kitchen and eat. So, the sadhana may be imperfect, but determination to practice whatever sadhana I have taken up for myself. Should be unbreakable. Avyabhicharinya, without any break. Meaning no unflickering, not flickering. Page 34, Anupranya, Madhuri.
Text 34. Yaya tu dharma kamarthan dhritya dharyate arjuna prasangena falakangshi dhrita sa partha rajasi. But that determination by which one holds fast to fruitive results in religion, economic development, and sense gratification is of the nature of passion, O Arjuna. Purport. Any person who is always desirous of fruitive results in religious or economic activities, whose only desire is sense gratification and whose mind, life, and senses are thus engaged, is in the mode of passion. Hare Krishna.
I'm seeing this word Akankshi. Sometimes with a girl's name Akanksha. Why do they give such name Akanksha? It means desiring, right? Akanksha. I hope they want Krishna Akanksha. then it's perfect. Krishna Akanksha, Vishnu Akanksha, Radha Akanksha, that Khala Akankshi. Jaya to Dharma, Kama, Artha, Dritya. So your work, your determination is for you to acquire something. So you're practicing dharma so that you can have artha and then you can enjoy. So you're very determined, very, very determined, you know. Anytime you open your YouTube, immediately pops up, you know, how to be successful, right? The ads, the ads, the ads. It's such a horror. Only person who is always desiring fruitive result in religious and career activities, who's only desires self gratification with mind, life, and senses. And just imagine, you know, it's you the Jeev. You, the Jeev, you're separate from your body. You, the Jeev, you're separate from your body. But you're utilizing that body, which consists of your prana, your senses, meaning that body, you know, the instruments of the senses, in the instrument of the body or the senses, your prana and your mind. Your mind is only occupied, you know, focus on how I can get. And you will come to the temple also. Give me this, give me this, give me this. Right? Thousands and thousands and thousands of people are flocking in temples. What for? Dharma, right? What for? Artha and Kama. So if we don't give them real knowledge of this Bhagavad Gita, right? If we don't catch them, we don't give them the real knowledge, they will come back again with the same desire, or they won't come back at all. They say, anyway, we went, nothing happened, so better don't go. Right? So their determination is fixed because they are getting something in return. Yeah. Ashwini?
Hare Krishna. Text 35. Yaya swapnam bhayam shokam vishadam mama madameva cha na muchyati durmedha dhutihi sa parthatamasi. Translation. And that determination which cannot go beyond dreaming, fearfulness, lamentation, moroseness, and illusion. Such unintelligent determination, O son of Pratha, is in the mode of darkness. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. It should not be concluded that a person in the mode of goodness does not dream. It should not be concluded that a person in mode of goodness does not dream. Here, dream means too much sleep. Dreaming is always present, either in the mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance. Dreaming is a natural occurrence, but those who cannot avoid oversleeping, who cannot avoid the pride of enjoying material objects, who are always dreaming of lording it over the material world, and those and whose life, mind, and senses are thus engaged are considered to have determination in mode of ignorance.
Yeah, so you know your dream house, your dream car, your dream yacht. That's what the avatars everywhere. Dream, dream. How will it come to you? Make your list of wish, right? Your wish list. You're dreaming, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. Right? This is what they propagate. So, Durmedha, unintelligent. Medha means intelligence. Now, Durmedha, no intelligence. The brain is not working. Durmedha. So, somebody with determination which cannot go beyond dreaming, fearfulness, lamentation, morosity, and illusion. Such unintelligent determination, he has no determination. Has no determination. So that's how some people hear about moksha. They hear about moksha. So they come and they think it will happen automatically. You're dreaming that one day I will become liberated from the cycle of birth and death. You're dreaming that it will happen. All right? But you're fearful of sadhana, fearful of following the regular principles. Right? Lamentation, moroseness. Right? Will you ever be determined to achieve your goal? You can't. You can't. Yes, tomorrow I will do it. Tomorrow I will chant 16 rounds. Tomorrow I'll come to the temple. Next satsang, surely I will attend. Vimunchati. So, swapnam, dreaming, bhayam. You're too afraid for austerities. Shokam, lamentation. Vishadam, looseness. If I will fast, I may lose. Always dreaming of lording it over material nature. Who cannot avoid oversleeping, cannot avoid the pride of enjoying material objects, who are always dreaming of lording it over material nature, whose life, mind, and senses of this language are considered to have determination and mode of ignorance. So I've given you two examples. One, this determination to achieve the goal in spiritual life. You say, yes, tomorrow I will do it, and then you will do nothing. And another one, his determination is only how can I enjoy this material world. Anyway, this is a very huge topic, each and every, practical, if you have to sit and explain. This is like an overview. And this is very important, very, very important. All this is your real life. This is actual real life. And when you're training children, you're training youth. So all this has to be studied very carefully. And you should be able to see in life how it applies. All right, so we stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Kalpatarunasya kripasinindriya च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो
Hare Krishna.